top 10 horror movies of 2026 so far that you can watch on Halloween. What a snappy title. So, I love horror films. There's been a few good ones this year. There's probably going to be more. There's some I haven't even seen. Like, is it Good Boy, the dog? The horror movie from the perspective of a dog? Like a haunted house horror movie just from the perspective of a dog. I really want to see that, but I never get a chance. So I've got 10 for you to watch that you can watch. Literally, you can watch at Halloween. Somewhere, I'm sure there's somewhere. There's been some incredible ones. There's been some mid ones. There's been some awful ones as well. Obviously, it's the horror genre. It's rife for awful movies, just as it is for good ones. I wasn't really a big fan of the new Conjuring movie, Last Rites. Didn't really like I Know What You Did Last Summer. That just wasn't for me. Some people really liked Heart Eyes. I didn't rate it too much, but I do have 10 films, which technically in the horror genre, that I think you would have a really good time watching these on Halloween. These all came out this year. 2026, another great year for horrors. So, at number 10, there was a little movie called The Drop. So, The Drop was a movie about a lady who goes on a date, and she gets a text message saying, "You're in this building, I need you to kill someone or I'm going to kill your family. You're in this restaurant. At the restaurant, you've got to do this or I'll kill your family." And it's basically just about that. And it's all basically set in a restaurant. And a fun, thrillery horror movie, gory, bloody, but also just a good sort of mystery. Like, who is the person that's messaging me? They can obviously see me. They must be in this room somewhere. And yeah, fun. I found it fun. Just a fun horror film. Creepy, scary, and thrilling as well. Like some thrilling ending as well. Really, really good. At number 9, you could also watch The Monkey, which is that movie with the monkey bashing the cymbals and people just die in these ridiculously funny, gruesome ways if the monkey like decides that you're gonna die. Again, just kind of over the top silliness, but the over the top silliness in a good way for these horror movies. Some people maybe didn't like this next one as much as me, but I thought it was good. I really enjoyed Wolfman. Wolfman with is it Garner? Something Garner in that film. A fun movie made by is it the same team that did Invisible Man, Hollow Man, or whatever it's called. But yeah, Wolfman, they had a really fun effect of the wolf, the guy turning into the wolf, slowly not being able to understand, I guess, English anymore, as he slowly turns into an animal. Really a fun movie, creeped me out, lots of shocky moments. Don't want to go into a cabin in the woods myself forever, really. I'm going to stay in the city where it's safe. I'm going to stay in London, the knife crime capital of the world, where it's nice and safe. Thank you very much. And now the rest, from 6 up to 1, I actually really liked all of these movies. So 6, in my opinion, sorry, my phone was just dinging. 6, in my opinion, 28 years later was fun. That was a good one for me. And an insane ending. Like, there's some scenes that stick in my mind this year. One of my absolute favorites is at the end of this film. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. And again, it doesn't really hinge on the storyline at all, but basically Jimmy Savile comes, and if you don't know Jimmy Savile, look him up. He is as evil gets, I guess, in this world. He's an English TV personality who is just evil, basically. And he somehow kind of shows up at the end of this movie, or at the very least, people who love Jimmy Savile and want to dress up like Jimmy Savile show up. Weird ending, but again, like the film is good. It's very British. It's raw. It's more dirty than an American zombie film, I guess. At number 5, this film was incredible. It's Final Destination Bloodlines. If you like the Final Destination films, the whimsiness of it all, You will love this. It's probably the best Final Destination out of all of the Final Destinations. Some of the deaths are top tier horror movie deaths. Top tier. Seriously, watch this film. You'll really like it. At number 4, for me personally, I really like this one. Bit more of an indie vibe. I've got Together. Basically a two-hander, just two people who really depend on each other, maybe a little too much, and I guess it's an allegory for being too codependent on somebody, because they start to get stuck together. It's a real body horror kind of icky movie. You're like, ugh, I don't want to watch this. This is horrible. And like they get stuck together in all of the ways. It like the sickest part of your brain where you go, oh, imagine they got stuck together this way. It does those things. Like it does all the sick parts of what you can imagine, and you're like, so I loved it. It was just viscerally, like, ridiculously disgusting, kind of funny in a weird way, and wonderfully acted. At 3, this film should arguably be number 1 in terms of maybe the most scary and most horrific, which is not my favorite. But Bring Her Back. Holy hell. There are some scenes in Bring Her Back, like a little kid chomping on a knife. Oh, like I think about that often, and I'm like, that film makes you feel horrific. Like it does what a horror movie is supposed to do, which is it's horrifically horrible. You come out of that film going, why do I like horror? That was horrible. But I fucking love it, I have to say. Now, number 2 is, of course, one of the best movies of the whole year, which is Sinners, a vampire movie, technically horror vampire film, and just wonderful filmmaking, gory, bloody, but with like this musical aspect to it, beautifully shot. I kind of thinking this might win the Oscar next year for best movie. Just incredible filmmaking, and there's a scene in the middle, I've said this multiple times, might be the best scene of the year, it might be the best scene of the decade actually, which is just the scene where he's playing in the new sort of club that they've opened up. He's playing the music, and it just transcends time and space momentarily for a scene. Just wonderful, and when it needs to get bloody and gory, it goes there, trust me. And now, number 1, you've probably guessed it, of course, if you can see any film at Halloween this year, I would recommend, my number 1 recommendation would be Weapons. Weapons is a wonderful film. It's terrifying, it's creative, it's interesting. You feel like, I've not seen this story before. Most other films, they're just versions of stories we've seen before. But Weapons is something that I'm like, I've not seen this story before. I am intrigued. I'm kind of laughing at the moments they want me to laugh at. I'm terrified at the moments they want me to be terrified at. There's moments where you're going to gasp. You're just going to have the best time watching this film. It's a great mystery horror movie that just has it's got witches in it, and it's great. It's just wonderful. Like I recommend that film more so than any other film I've ever recommended in the past year. What's the film on in the background? That's also a horror film. Maybe that's one you could watch. That's not out this year, but one of my absolute favorites. Really, really good. If you can name it in the comments below. Maybe there's a horror film that I've missed off this year. Name that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I would just bloody love to hear it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. And let's all just be spooky this Halloween. Real spooky.